It started when I was leaving high school. I remember going up for an award and my mum being so proud because she was there. I was 19 and carrying at the time. As time went on, the belly got bigger and I didn't tell her. One day, she looked at me. She said, "Turn around. Let me see you a minute." Then she cried her eyes out and all hell broke loose. Oh, she was going on, shouting, being really destructive. Well, she thought I could go places and do well for myself, so I broke her heart. My boyfriend at the time was really happy. But for me, well, it was mixed emotions because when I saw my mum cry her eyes out, it's like I failed her. Then turmoil. The ambulance coming, going into hospital, going into labour. The care was rough. Because I'm a single mother and it was frowned upon in them days. At first they diagnosed me with postnatal depression. And then they tried to find categories, diagnoses to put me under, but they still couldn't find one. So they settled on bipolar. I didn't get treatment straight away, but then I kept going in and out of hospital like every 2 weeks. I became institutionalized. I started to notice people would call me things behind my back when I was about 5 or 6 in primary school. They used to call me things like monkey or a nigger. It very much hurt me, like racial trauma. I mean, my mum tried to fight for us as we were the only black children in the school. Every so often she would go and talk to the teachers and tell them, "Don't call my son and daughter any names." And the school would be like, "Well, kids call people names. It's a primary school, it's not racially motivated." That's when I first became aware of my ethnicity. I mean, in them days, they didn't want to recognise colour. They just wanted to keep you down. I used to hate myself quite a lot. When I was little, I had eczema, and my parents were convinced that every time I scratched my skin, I wanted to be white. Because I said once, "I wish I could scrub it off," meaning my black skin. As time went on, my mum said that I couldn't stay with her any longer. It was too hard on her. She wanted me to get a flat of my own. That took time. I did get a flat eventually, but I was so lonely and depressed. As a single black mother, you get the worst type of housing. And it's typical. The black ethnic minorities get served the worst housing. And that's what happened to me. They put me in a corner where there were a lot of drugs and a bad neighbour who didn't like me and who harassed me every day because of my colour. It was stressful. The council had to send someone round for me to document the times and dates of when he was giving me trouble. I found that really hard to do because I never had no time. I had 2 little ones to look after. I filled it in anyway. Oh, someone must have had a word with him because I never heard from him again after that. I remember once when I was in a mother and baby home, I ended up locking myself in the bathroom. I was like crying and sobbing. I just wanted to go home. I felt like, oh, I wanted to die. Then the police came and started bashing down the bathroom door because I'd locked myself in such a way like the staff didn't have the keys to unlock it. So the police were like, "Open the door now, we have a taser." And I asked, "What do you mean?" And they were shouting, "Drop the knife. We're going to come in, we're going to bash the door down." And I was like, "I don't have a knife. Seriously, I don't have a knife." And I was crying my eyes out, and then they bashed into the door, and then they started to point a taser right into my chest, and they were shouting, "Where is the knife now?" And I was like, "I don't have anything on me." To the point where I started to, I don't know, I was very mentally confused. I started to take my trousers off and just wanted to show them that I didn't have anything on me. It was very scary. Oh. I didn't have a good GP, so they couldn't find a diagnosis for me. Then one psychiatrist says to me, "You're Jamaican?" "I have a Jamaican friend and he smiles all the time. You should be smiling too, but I can't understand it." Being I'm the only black person in the hospital, he couldn't understand that I could be down one minute and up the next. He wanted me to continuously be bubbly and happy and smiley. They kept giving me medication upon medication, but it just made me drowsy and dopey. I wasn't with it. But they kept on prescribing it, but it didn't help. It just made my depression worse. I've had 22 hospital admissions, and it has been 12 or 13 years since I was last admitted, and I'm glad for that. After getting a new GP, things started to change. She spent time really getting to know me. She even made me weekly videos and would send them to me to encourage and motivate me. It was the first time I really felt listened to, and she was compassionate and caring. Over the years, we became friends, and she's the person I really look to for support.